Welcome back to another Explainer. I'm so glad you're here today because we're diving into a massive, totally unexpected shakeup that just completely rocked the AI industry. Seriously, if you follow how ridiculously fast this tech moves, you're going to love this one. We're looking at a major disruption in how AI models are categorized, how they perform, and, maybe most importantly, how they're priced. So let's just jump right in, because the whole landscape of AI economics literally just changed overnight.
Okay, picture this. What if the budget option actually started beating the flagship at its own game? It's that classic underdog scenario, right? We see it in sports, cars, smartphones. You buy the cheaper mid-tier version and you just kind of expect compromises. You know what you're paying for. But what if there were no compromises? What if that budget pick suddenly completely outclassed the most expensive top-tier alternative? Well, you don't even have to imagine it, because as our source material shows today, this exact thing just happened in the AI space.
Section 1. The Mid-Tier AI Disruption.
So on June 30th, a major AI lab dropped a bombshell. This wasn't just some routine update. They rolled out a brand new mid-tier model with a pitch that is just brilliant in its simplicity. Give developers near-flagship performance without the flagship price tag. This was aggressively marketed as a way cheaper way to run autonomous AI agents, cheaper than their own premium model and way cheaper than the competition. I mean, let's be real. Flagship models, they're usually priced like luxury cars. You pay a massive premium just to say you have the absolute best, even if it completely drains your budget every time you run a query. So this release, it's a direct shot at the entire industry. When you can offer almost top-tier performance for a fraction of the cost, you aren't just launching a product, you're basically throwing a massive wrench into everyone else's business model.
Section 2. The Performance Parity Proof. Now, a pitch is just marketing hype until you actually see the data, right? So let's look at this multi-file coding benchmark. This is a genuinely tough test. It asks the AI to make complex changes across multiple files, literally what a human software engineer does all day. Look at the first bar. The previous version of this mid-tier model scored in the high 50s. It's fine, very mid-tier. But then look at the second bar. The new mid-tier jumps up to 63%. That is a massive leap. And it puts it right on the heels of the third bar, the vastly more expensive flagship model, which is sitting in the high 60s. That gap is closing fast.
Let's keep that momentum going. Check out this next benchmark, 81%. This is from a computer use test. It's actually a pretty wild scenario where the AI has to literally operate a screen, clicking and typing, exactly like a human would. The older model scored a 78. This new budget-friendly model? Boom, 81%. It's navigating human interfaces with just stunning accuracy.
And it doesn't stop there. On a terminal command benchmark, which basically tests how well the AI interacts with the underlying text interfaces of a computer, the score shot up from 67% to just over 80%. Guys, that is a huge double-digit improvement in a single generational leap, all while staying firmly in that budget-friendly price bracket.
But hold on, we really need to pause here for a second, because this next part is just mind-blowing. On a knowledge work test, the mid-tier model actually edged past the flagship model entirely. Let that sink in. In this specific type of cognitive work, the underdog didn't just close the gap. It didn't just get close, it flat out won. The much cheaper model literally outsmarted the expensive one. Absolutely wild.
Section 3. Changing AI Math for Businesses. Okay, so the tech benchmarks are incredible, for sure. But let's talk about what this actually means in the real world. Because for businesses, these numbers completely rewrite the playbook. Now, AI is usually priced per million tokens. You can just think of tokens as chunks of words the AI reads and generates. On one side, you've got your flagship models. Incredible performance, but you're paying an absolute premium per million tokens. On the other side, the new mid-tier model. You get near flagship performance, but at a tiny fraction of the cost. Oh, and to make it even crazier, they're running an introductory rate through the end of August. When you slash the cost of intelligence like this, the financial impact for a company is just staggering.
So why is this such a big deal? Think about high-volume applications like customer support bots, coding assistants, or research agents. Businesses run these things 24/7. Imagine a customer support bot for a massive global retailer. It never sleeps. It's handling thousands of chats every single hour. Every message going back and forth eats up tokens. At flagship prices, that bot is just burning through cash. It's wildly expensive. But the second you swap in a cheaper, highly capable model, the math completely flips. Stuff that was way too expensive to automate yesterday is suddenly incredibly cheap and profitable today. It's a total game changer.
Section 4. The Next AI Price War. Let's zoom out for a second and look at the big picture. When a mid-tier model suddenly matches flagship benchmarks, it puts immense pressure on everyone's pricing. According to our sources, competing labs are watching this like hawks. Honestly, they have to. It forces every single player in the industry to rethink what they're actually offering. Think about it. If you can get 95% of the performance for 10% of the cost from Company A, why on earth would you pay Company B's premium prices? You just wouldn't.
Check out how this is going to play out on our timeline. Point 1. June 30th, the disruptor drops, sending shockwaves everywhere. Point 2. End of August, that ultra-low intro rate wraps up and we see the real new baseline price. And then point 3, the next 3 to 6 months. Our sources are predicting a massive industry-wide scramble. We are absolutely going to see a brutal price and performance war as every rival lab scrambles to release their own cheaper, faster models just to survive in this totally new economic reality.
Which leaves us with this one massive question to wrap up today's explainer. If these budget models can now handle the heavy lifting, if they're coding, clicking around computer screens, and literally acing knowledge tests, what are the next generation of flagships going to have to do to justify those huge price tags? The baseline for what we consider cheap AI just got incredibly smart. It is going to be so fascinating to see how the big players respond to this. Thanks so much for hanging out and unpacking this with me today. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll see you in the next explainer.